So Phallon, Simi, thank you for spending the time with us today. We're going to talk a little bit about college football. You both had the opportunity to play football for two massive universities in America, and we sort of want to get a bit more insight into that and your journeys. But first of all, I suppose I'll start by asking Phallon, what does college football mean to you and to your personal journey?
For my personal journey, I think college soccer and even just the college experience was really massive for my personal life, just because I was able to get like a really high academic experience at the University of Miami, and that's where I did my bachelor's and my master's in areas revolved around marine biology, and I absolutely loved it. Like, our campus was right on the beach, so like I was scuba diving as much as I could there and learning as much as I could. And then also on the soccer side of things, we were in the ACC, so playing against teams like the University of North Carolina and Florida State, and just both of those things combined were at a really high level, and I think that really helped me get to where I am right now.
It was the University of Miami for you, Phallon. For you, Simi, it was University of Southern California in Los Angeles. How do you look back on that experience?
Yeah, it was definitely one for the books. I met my best friends there. They're still my best friends and probably will be for the rest of my life. I think the university provided me with so many opportunities, from academic to athletic. Like, I don't think I would be in this position if I didn't go there. The coaches that I've had have contributed to my journey and like helped me out with everything from now and even to like from before to now, and will continue to help me, and they're always looking out for me. Yeah, and like everyone talks about living in LA, so it was like fun to do that. It was definitely an adjustment at first, but I wouldn't change it at all.
Phallon, what do you remember of starting out at the University of Miami? And when you're going to college, do you have certain options and to choose from? What's that process like?
Yeah, so we're going back a little ways now of my thought process, but so I started at the University of Miami in 2014, but I don't know if the system was different for you by then, but I had committed my sophomore year of high school, so I had already known by the time I was probably like 15 years old that 15-year-old me walked onto Miami's campus and knew that was it. Like, I made eye contact with my mom, and we were like, yeah, this is where I want to be. This is where I want to spend 4 years. Ended up being 5. But the options for me was really, I was looking at universities that were big in marine biology, so that I could pursue that path, because I wanted to be a marine biologist and then eventually continue with my master's and my doctorate degree. And so that was my primary focus, and I just lucked out that we were in the ACC as well. So yeah, that was my primary focus. There are only so many schools that are really big in that, but Miami ended up being a really great choice for me.
And Simi, am I right in saying, was it neuroscience that you were studying? So talk us through that, why that's a passion for you, and how important football was at the time for you as well.
Yeah, I think throughout my life, like, I'd always done both, like football, academics, but my parents are such big academic focused people, and as much as they pushed me to pursue my athletic dreams, they never let me let up on my academic goals as well. Maybe their academic goals, honestly, but no. So I feel like I always just kind of try to push myself to like pursue academic interests that were like more difficult and also interest me as well. So neuroscience is one of those. I thought like maybe I'd want to do that, be pre-med, and then like be a surgeon, maybe a brain surgeon. This is also heavily inspired by Grey's Anatomy. But no, yeah. So that was my major. And then I feel like college soccer like helped me find opportunities elsewhere as well, because throughout my freshman year, after getting the opportunity to play and start for USC, I like was presented with the opportunity to play for Canada, which was something that made me very happy and very proud, because Canada is a country that provided my mom with her first opportunity to really become a professional, like a pharmacist, which was something that I take pride in. So I feel like college soccer, also coupled with that, made me realize that like there is stuff that I could do outside of academics. So then at that point, I was like, I need to kind of change my major, because I couldn't be doing labs and also be like traveling to camp for a month. So that was kind of when I decided to do computer science and business. And as you can see, I didn't necessarily like drop off academically, because my parents would just never let me, and I wouldn't want to do that myself as well. So yeah, my kind of academic record is all over the place, but hopefully I'll get that degree in May.
You went from neuroscience to a double major, so I don't know if you really...
It's just because it's more doable online,
yeah.
So I just, yeah. Which is kind of working for me now, because I'm still in school, so.
Yeah. Oh, really? So
Yeah.
are you still studying whilst you're here?
Yeah, so I'm kind of like a part-time student, which is really really nice. I think for me, just the opportunity to play for this club presented at the time that it was presented wasn't something necessarily that like was what I thought it would be timing wise. I thought that I would still be there for another semester, be able to stay until December, but when a club like Manchester United comes knocking, you can't necessarily say no. So I think also I'm just very grateful to my university for helping me through this process. Like I have a lot of people that are in my corner there, from my coach to like our like athletic director to my academic advisor. Like everyone has just helped me kind of figure out what the best plan, what the best course of action will be for me to be here and be a student. So I'm very grateful to my school for that as well, because I couldn't be on this journey and all the journeys that I've been on without it as well.
What would a normal week look like for a student that sort of played football? I imagine it'd be quite different every week.
Yeah, I'll let you answer that because you're a little fresher on your schedule.
Yeah, so for us, our like training block was from 7 a.m. to 11 a.m. So anytime within that, we could be training, meeting, lifting, whatever. So typically for us, it would be like, it kind of changed. It would be like maybe a 7 a.m. training or a 7 a.m. meeting, and then an 8 a.m. or 7:45, 8 a.m. start for training. And then by 10 a.m. you're in the gym and you're released for 11 a.m. So then your first set of classes would be able to start by 11 and could end like as late as 9, I think classes ended. But obviously within that, which I personally like the morning block because I feel like you have a little bit more freedom to make your schedule. Plus if you don't have training, now you can like wake up later. So yeah, within that you kind of plan your own classes and just kind of try to make the best schedule that you can make. I would say once season started, it was probably a little bit more difficult because you could be traveling on a Wednesday and be like out of your college campus, your city from Wednesday to Sunday essentially, and not be back till Monday, which is kind of weird. And then you're playing games like Thursday and Sunday, and it's just kind of intense. You're missing classes. Like I remember my first year, I missed the first 2 weeks of school.
Yeah, especially with labs. Labs were always the problem.
Were...
You had to make sure you schedule your labs early on in the week, but we had a similar schedule where we had the morning block and then we had all of our classes afterwards. And then you have your clubs afterwards. That you go to, like Marine Mammal Rescue Team. So then you weren't finishing until like 9 o'clock at night and then you would start it all over again. But you're just young and you just love all the information that you're acquiring. At least for me, I was just so, just really happy with the people that I was around and the opportunities that I was having. And I think it was really unique. I really love that you brought up community as well, because I do think university creates that. Like you find there's so many people, at least on our campus at the University of Miami, was very diverse. So we just found so many different people, and even people that had similar interests to be around outside of the team as well too.
There's profiles on different college websites. I know you mentioned them before for different players. And Simi, on yours, there was a line that said, "Miss pre-season play while competing with Canada at the 2023 World Cup." That's pretty mad, isn't it, to be missing college for a World Cup? What was that like?
Yeah, it was definitely weird. I feel like, I don't know, it was kind of crazy to be like, I'm going to the World Cup, and then I'm like going back to my school to go like play college soccer with my friends. Like I don't know, you know what I mean? I feel like they're both on really different scales. I mean, I wouldn't change my experience for the world, but I think it was a lot of fun just like being able to have that opportunity and experience a World Cup and like go out there and just like learn from all the players that are already pro and just like watch them compete and see what kind of the next level looks like at the international stage, and then still be able to come to my college and maybe try to bring that sort of energy or those sort of like discipline and like ideas and stuff back to the environment to kind of help us in the season. So I feel like it was a good sort of, I guess, stepping stone, I would say.
I saw recently, I think it was Miami, sort of posted on social media, Phallon, after you made your first WSL start, and I know the USC reached out to you, Simi, when you debuted recently. How cool is that to still have that connection? I know, Simi, obviously you're still studying, but for them to almost be looking over you and watching out for you and still celebrating your achievements as well.
Yeah, I think it's so nice to just know that no matter what, like you're supported. And that's like something I feel like I never failed me in the college system, was that support. It was always there. And I feel like in my case it was just a bit different because I still technically had a year of eligibility. I could have played this season, I could have been there in December. And that's something that maybe like if someone didn't necessarily want me to go pro, like that you could be upset about and you could have wanted me to stay there and maybe not like look out for me and continue to support me, but that's never something that was in the minds of like my coaches and my support staff. Once they heard the opportunity, there was like no doubt in their mind they were going to continue to support me, even if they did want me to be there for the season and want me to contribute to the team. So it's just so nice to know that there's an organization out there that's like, it's not super self-centered, and they're very selfless in the way that they help their athletes and build the program as well.
Yeah, definitely. I would say like it is very special for me with Miami too, especially since there have been a couple coaching changes along the way. Like I still have the coach that I had my final year reaching out to me saying congratulations. It really was just a special community that I was able to build over there, and it is special to have them reach out so many years later.